Alright, I'm playing some more Call of Duty Team Deathmatch 6v6. This map is the tried and true Crash map. It was first introduced in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original, so Call of Duty 4. It returned in Modern Warfare 2 as DLC. It returned again in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I think it was DLC for that game as well. And here it is again for the fourth time. Also as DLC for Modern Warfare 2019 here in Season 1. Along with Crash, along with Shipment and Vacant, Crash is one of the old maps that's returned. Obviously it's been updated in terms of visuals as well as functionality. So I get my first kill of the match. So going back to functionality, like all the other maps in this game, there's a lot of functional doors. Some new areas have been opened up and made accessible, whereas in previous versions of the map, you wouldn't be able to access these areas. I get my second kill of the match thanks to my Claymore, and I've got the perk, the third perk that gives you 2 lethal equipment. I always forget the name of it. And I quickly get another kill with my lethal equipment. And I see an opponent climbing up that ladder. I probably could have sniped him if I had my sniper rifle out, but I didn't. But thankfully, I had my assault rifle and I was able to catch that guy coming up the stairs off guard. So obviously my first perk is Overkill. My primary weapon is the M13, and my additional primary weapon is the HDR. Fuck. My optic is the Scout Combat Optic. So I don't have as much visible range, but on the plus side, there's no scope glint. I'm not giving away my position when I'm aiming down sights. So I've got 5 kills as part of a kill streak. I've got a precision strike on standby. I'm trying to call it in, but the airspace is too crowded for some reason. And finally I call it in based on where I think the other team is spawning. And bang! Woohoo! 3 kills.
God damn.
4 kills. I'm stoked because that's my first ever Fury kill in Modern Warfare 2019. Bang. Another kill. So I'm kind of disappointed that there's really only 3 sniper rifles in this game so far. There's the HDR, the AX, and the Dragunov. And now, in my experience, the Dragunov in every Call of Duty game has been pretty crappy. And if I were to rank the other 2 sniper rifles, I would actually put the AX-50 above the HDR. But that's not to say you can't get kills with the HDR, as you can see in this footage. So as you can see, I'm kind of staying close to the west edge of the rooftop. I'm being careful not to press myself up against the fence along the south and east part of the roof, because you really open yourself up to fire. So I'm just trying to minimize my exposure to people on the ground, because if you're right up against the fence, you're more likely to be shot from someone in the middle of that courtyard area near the chopper. Like this, obviously the rooftop restaurant is by far the best position in the game. If you're able to take and hold it, your team is at an advantage for sure. Because not only can you see and shoot at other people, but you can call out at opponents' positions. But of course, for balancing reasons, you can be shot at from like multiple directions. So I unlock my Wilson and not realizing that you need to be on the ground in order to call it in. I tried and failed to call it from the rooftop twice. In hindsight, it's probably better that you're not able to call it from the rooftop, because just getting it to the ground where it can actually do damage would be a waste of fuel. And so here I am in the kitchen pantry trying to call it in. Again, not realizing that you need to have a fair amount of space in front of you. Finally, after 4 tries, okay, yeah, I realize you've got to be outside, or at least, like I said, have a lot of space in front of you. So I call it in. The Wilson is a pretty good kill streak reward. Wilson, baby. I'm pretty excited. Now, I kind of favor the sentry gun, which is also a 7 kill reward. After seeing this footage, I think I'm going to go back to the Wilson because it can do a lot of damage in high traffic areas, especially in like a 10v10 match. It's got unlimited ammo. Even though it's got limited fuel and health, it's really useful for drawing opponents' fire, especially if you have like 1 or 2 teammates who are following or flanking your Wilson. You can, as a team, do a lot of damage, and at the same time, you're protecting your teammates because, like I said, you're more likely to draw opponents' fire. And so you prevent the other team from getting those kills. Yep, so this map is one of those maps where I think things go either really well or really badly. Like, in my experience, most of the games are like blowouts. Thankfully, I tend to be on the good side. And one thing that kind of stands out to me now that I really think about it, this map doesn't, the down chopper doesn't have a mounted machine gun like before. And if you really think about it, none of the maps in this game have mounted machine guns. Whereas in previous Modern Warfare games, like, mounted machine guns are like prominent features of some maps. Shit. And so my teammate finishes 21 and 2, which is pretty spectacular. I finished with 15 kills and 0 deaths for the flawless victory. Best game ever.